Kia ora tātou, no mai haere mai. Wade Manson here from Whiti Ora Tairāwhiti, and you're listening to our podcast, The Sideline Yak. Before we start the show today, just a quick note, you would have heard a slight change in our intro. Sport Gisborne Tairāwhiti has now become Whiti Ora Tairāwhiti. Super excited with this change, and if you want to know more about it, feel free to check out our website, www.whitiora.org. On today's show, we chat with New Zealand international sports star Trish Hina, better known as Chockee. Trish has represented New Zealand in 4 sports: softball, touch, rugby union, and rugby league.
There's so many people that gave up their time for me to succeed in my sport career. The best thing that I could do is give back to the sport.
Trish has been described as arguably one of New Zealand's greatest sportswomen, winning 3 Women's Rugby League World Cups and being named MVP in 2 of those tournaments. Trish was then selected into the 2010 Black Ferns World Cup squad, who went on to win that tournament, becoming the first woman to win a league and a union World Cup. She was inducted into the New Zealand Rugby League Legends of League and has the honour of having the MVP medal named after her for the NRL Indigenous All Stars Rugby League event. Trish faced a major life challenge in 2011 when she was diagnosed with stage 4 kidney disease, ending her high-performance career. But like anything Trish puts her mind to, she was able to overcome adversity and was back playing competitive sport in 2020 when she returned to rugby league for the National Women's Championship. We chat with Trish about her nickname and how that came about, and the influence her family and friends had on her growing up through her love for sport. We discuss the secret sauce that got her to the international stage and how culture is an important part of sport, both as a player and a coach. Trish shares the feeling she had when diagnosed with CKD and how she was able to maintain a good mindset to get her back on the field. We also discuss how giving back through coaching has provided opportunities for other young wahine to play sport either for fun or to go on to greater aspirations. Trish's impressive CV is backed up by resilience, generosity and kindness, which is evident within our kōrero, and we are truly grateful to be able to share her story with you today. So please enjoy. Kia ora. No mai haere mai. Welcome, Trish, to the Sideline Yak. Thank you so much for being here today. Really appreciate the time coming on the show and having a chat to us. Kei te aha, how are you?
Kia ora Wade, kei te pai ahau, ko Trish Hina tōku ingoa no rangitoki ahau. Yeah, it's good to be here, so thank you.
Nice. Hey, I'm going to start off a little different question than normal. I know your nickname is Chockee. Chock, where did that come from?
So my nickname came from when I was playing softball, and because I kept on eating chocolate all the time, my softball mates started calling me Chockee. Yeah, which I prefer to be called Chockee anyway, because who calls their kids Trish these days? So yeah, so Chockee, that's how I got my name, just from eating heaps of chocolate from my teenage years.
Cool. Actually, that's probably where we'll start today, like your teenage years, well, even probably before, heading way back when you're young. So if you can share with us what sport looked like for you growing up.
Very, very blessed to have a father who was very involved in sport. So all the sport that he played, I played, and I ended up representing New Zealand in. So my dad played rugby, he played rugby league, he played touch, and he played softball. I went to most of his trainings, his evening trainings and all those sports. And just the weekends was, every Saturday was sport day. So it would be us kids first. So I'm the youngest of 4. So it was always really busy in the weekends. Saturday was sport. So it would be us kids first in the mornings, and then our dad's sport in the afternoons. And then it's the club rooms. And then, so we just used to have, the whole Saturday was just out of the house, having fun. And and at the club rooms it was fun as well, Parents are drinking, and us kids are playing in the sand sawdust room, playing rugby. So, yeah, it was cool.
Nice. Obviously, being the youngest of 4 kids, so your siblings older than you, were you always trying to compete against them, or what did that look like?
Yeah. So My siblings were good sports people as well. I think they could have gone, like, made it into New Zealand teams as well, but they had kids young, so they went on another path. But they used to help me with my trainings, like after schools or in the weekends. We just all support each other and practice in the backyard. And two of my older brothers, it's good having them because it roughened me up a bit more. Yeah, so it got me used to playing with boys rugby in the junior grades.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was good having older siblings, and they're like an inspiration to me.
Cool. So just with that, in regards to you playing in the boys grade, was that something that, like, if you wanted to play rugby league, rugby union, that was the only options?
I think I could play up till under 13s.
Yeah.
I played with the boys, and then back then you didn't have secondary school rugby for girls. So I had to wait till I was 16, and then I could go straight to the women's grade. Yeah, which was, quite a long wait because I just wanted to play sport. So I had to wait 2 years before I could play in the women's grade. And so when I was 16, I went and played for the Wainuiamata women's rugby team, because that's the club that my dad played for. So, yeah, just joined that club and played every year after that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. I just want to take you back just quickly around when you talked around the club rooms and having that opportunity to play with the other kids. How important was that for you? And obviously there's that sport, which is the structure part, but then you had the play part of being able to just have fun with the kids, and while the parents obviously were doing what they were doing, you, as you said, played in the sawdust room and stuff like that. Like, was that like fun? Like,
Yeah.
was that able to let you just do whatever you wanted to do and just enjoy it rather than having that structure of sport?
Yeah, it was just so much fun. There was probably about 30 kids in there, and we're just going hard at each other, girls and boys. So most of the time it was the girls against the boys, and we just used to hammer the boys. So, but yeah, it was just freedom, just running amok in the sawdust room, and our parents didn't have to worry about us because they knew that we'd be safe. And yeah, it was so much fun back in those days. And
you sort of alluded to it a little bit just now around not being able to play until you were 16, basically from under 13s to 16. What other challenges did you face when you were younger in sport?
I think that would have been the only challenge, really. Just not being able to play after intermediate, and just having to watch everyone. Yeah, like just watch everyone play, like all the boys, all my friends.
Yeah.
I think from then till now, like, there's so many opportunities these days.
Just looking at those challenges,
Yeah.
by not playing rugby and rugby league in that time frame, is that when you moved into other sports, so like softball and?
Yeah, so in the winter time I played rugby and rugby league. So rugby was on a Saturday and league was on a Sunday.
Yeah.
And then in the summertime it was touch and softball. After intermediate I wasn't able to play because of my age. So I didn't really do much until I hit the correct age.
Correct age. So you potentially, it's almost 3 years there where you weren't actually doing any sport.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And it was quite, I think I, put on a lot of weight, and it was quite sad, really.
Yeah.
Going from, active person to, non-active.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And were you able to, when you hit the 16, I'm back in there, I'm straight in there, I know what I need to do, and away you went?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it started at college, because it was college. Oh, no, we didn't have college rugby then. No, straight into club rugby, with the women's team.
Yeah.
Yep. And my dad was helping out with coaching as well. So, I was straight in there. Yeah. And I was much happier.
Yeah. Can you talk about your dad in terms of what type of person he was?
Humble, kind-hearted, humble, really supportive dad, always there for us with our sports, and coached most of our teams.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he was very active dad, always there for us. Yeah.
How was he as a coach, having you, like, obviously the daughter-father
Yeah.
relationship? Was that good, or was that...
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes we had disagreements, and I'd walk off and end up walking home. Yeah. So it wasn't always the best, but he was really good coach though. So most of the times he would coach me after school, and like with softball be pitching and then rugby stuff as well. So yeah, he had lots of knowledge to share. So yeah. But yeah, most of the time it was good.
Yeah. No, that's cool. So obviously one of your influences, and you did talk around your siblings as an influence. Was there any others, or potentially what was it about your siblings that were influences to you?
So as I was growing up, my older sister, I'd end up playing in her teams. So she's like 7 years older than me. So so that was cool. I got to play in her teams, and she was always left to look after me anyway. So yeah, it was cool just having her as my big sister, and she was a good role model for me. Yeah, and then my brothers, they were just, they were there for me, helping me with my trainings after school and trying to toughen me up and stuff like that. So, so it was really good to have my older siblings, and
Were there any other influences outside of obviously the family bubble? Or even any role models that you looked up to as you were coming through as a younger sports person?
Not really. Just my brothers and my dad. Like I didn't really have any sports people as idols or anything like that. Yeah.
So looking at the different sports, you started getting better and better. As we know, well, if we don't know, you represented New Zealand in 4 sports: touch, softball, rugby league, and rugby union. And I know softball you did quite a bit, like when you were younger, and you was at the under 16s, you represented New Zealand.
And under 19s.
And under 19s, yeah. So what can you talk about that in terms of like, how did that elevate going from, like just playing softball with club and to the next level into New Zealand?
Very fortunate to have my New Zealand softball coach as my teacher, though during school time it was softball training. So yeah, she was always there and kept me on track with schoolwork and made me get involved in other sports as well, not just softball. Yeah, that was good to have you there at school with me. But there was a group of us actually. There's probably like 10 others that attended the same school as well, and we were all in the same softball teams. So that just having that team bond, just at school, but then it carries on into the club trainings and then into New Zealand trainings. Yeah. So that's how it kind of all started, really.
Yeah. And then obviously rugby league was massive. Like, what was appealing about rugby league more so than the others? Or was it like, I suppose, did rugby league become the main sport that you wanted to play, or what was the story there?
Well, I started off with rugby when I was through juniors, and then rugby league started when I was at intermediate. So, my dad said just to give it a go and see how it goes. So I did. And because the games were on a Sunday as well, so it fitted in.
Yep.
And rugby was on Saturday. But yeah, rugby was my main game at first. Well, I actually like both of them, rugby and league. So, you just go hard and see where it takes you. And, I was just lucky that I got to make the New Zealand teams. And, I think because I was brought up in the junior grades for rugby, it really helped with my development, and, and then transitioning over to rugby league was quite easy as well. So, yeah.
Yeah. What were the feelings when you made those New Zealand teams?
Very, very proud. Because I started training like in the gym when I was 15, so I was learning how to train properly and eat properly, all that stuff, because I was carded as an elite athlete when I was 15 years old. That's when I started in the gym and stuff. So I was training like before school and after school. That's when things started to get a bit more serious. Was just proud with all the mahi that I had been doing with my trainings and stuff. So, yeah, just proud and a good feeling to be with my friends as well that I had been to college with, because we all had made the same teams because they came and played rugby in league as well.
Yeah.
So we were all just playing all these sports and making the New Zealand teams, and so we were all together. So it was cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's cool. Are there any like key highlights that you can remember from any of those teams, like whether it's softball, touch, rugby league, or rugby union? Any highlights that you have from there that and why were they highlights?
Probably the highlights would be winning the World Cup. So for rugby league, we won 3 World Cup for that sport, and for the 2 of those World Cups, I got most valuable player. So yeah, that's a highlight. I'm very proud. And then the Black Ferns, we won the 2010 World Cup in England. Yeah, just by 13-10. So when was 2010? Like, I can still remember the score, which is amazing. Yeah, we just won in the last 2 minutes, I think. So yeah, just winning those four World Cups. So yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, because you've got a massive accolades. Like honestly, like as you mentioned, 3 World Cups with the rugby league team. So that was between 91 and 2010. MVP at the 2000 and 2008 Rugby League World Cups. Became a dual international with winning the Black Ferns at the Rugby World Cup. Inducted into the Legends of League.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
So even it's unbelievable. I read one quote, actually 2 quotes. Arguably women's rugby league's first genuine superstar and arguably New Zealand's greatest sportswoman. When you hear things like that, like obviously there's the secret sauce that's made you so successful. And I know you don't want to like talking about it, but I'd be really keen just to hear and you sort of alluded to a little bit around like that hard work. Like what do you think is, and if there's kids out there today listening to this, wanting to know like, how do we crack this? What do we have to do? What would be your secret sauce to get where you got to and to have that impressive CV there?
I suppose for me it was, when things started to get really serious, it's just setting those goals and writing them down. So, I think I put a paper up on my wall. So for softball, I had, to make the White Sox team. For rugby, it would have been I had make the Black Ferns team. So I had it on a paper on wall. So that's the first thing that I see when I wake up and the last thing I see when I go to sleep. And then just that would keep me on track and, give me motivation to get up at 5 a.m. to go to the gym and then train again after school or after work, do my own personal training after work, and then go and do team training. So yeah, setting those goals and making sure that you get visualizing where I want to be and what I want to achieve as well. So that's what helped me through and why I got so far with my sport. But having my family as well, my dad and my stepmom and my siblings, all supportive.
Yeah. And then as you mentioned, like you had a lot of your friends coming through with the teams as well. Yep. Was there that motivation or and everyone pushing each other to go harder? Or
but we all had as we got older, we were all working. Yeah, when we started, like I had left college, so we were just doing our own trainings, but would meet up for team trainings at the end of, like at 6 o'clock or something like that. But would always have to do our personal training before team trainings. So yeah, just lots of trainings, mornings, and then 2 in the evenings. So yeah, but it was most of the reason is just having my friends there and doing life with them really, and having fun doing it.
Yeah. Cool. Nice reflection. So moving forward, we're probably fast forwarding a little bit now, but the NRL Indigenous All Stars Rugby League event, that's quite a significant cultural exchange between Australia and New Zealand, and you have a special connection with it, with the event through the naming of the MVP medal for the women's game in your honour. Can you describe your feelings like when you found out about that?
Yeah, so the lady, she used to play in the Jillaroos team. She organises the women's part of the event. She asked if she was looking for a Māori rugby league player that would be good for who has done who's achieved a lot in rugby league, and she actually asked one of our teammates who works for the New Zealand Rugby League, and our teammate mentioned me, so that's how I was selected, and very, very privileged actually, because it's such a cool kaupapa, and it's all about cultural, like a cultural exchange. So yeah, was very honoured to be selected for that medal to be named after me. So yeah.
Definitely deserving of that one. And as you mentioned, like celebrating cultural heritage is a big part of the event. What does culture and sport mean to you, and how important is it?
Yeah, very important. Just having that identity, keeping you grounded, knowing where you're from and who your family is, and representing your tupuna that have passed, and I think it's really important. Being proud to be Māori as well. Just proud to be where you're from. Yeah, it's really important.
Again, moving forward into the NZRL, was it NZRL Legends of League?
Yes.
Yeah, so you induct them there. So that's another massive massive accolade as well. Like that's almost like putting you up on definitely on a high pedestal. How was like that for you in terms of what you've done in your career? Was that the moment where you'd known you've done quite a bit?
I suppose I'm very proud of what I've achieved in all my sports, but yeah, I don't know, like I don't feel like like I don't like to be put on a pedestal or anything like that. Like I'm just I'm just very grateful. Yeah.
So if we move forward with, obviously you've gone into coaching now, like you've been coaching for quite some time now.
Mm-hmm.
When did that transition go from being player to coach, or did you just move into that space?
So when I moved to Gisborne, which was 2011, I was still playing rugby in Auckland, so I was travelling back. But then I knew that I started coaching then at Kaiti School, and then moved into Lytton High School and started the academy there. When the opportunities for girls rugby started, a bit better. So we had a lot of girls in Gisborne, very talented sports people. So, we just thought we'd start coaching and give these girls, an opportunity to see how they go with rugby.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's how it all started. You're very fortunate that Lytton High hired me, and we had a few girls from that academy, do very well, and girls from girls high, because we kind of combined with the coaching with the girls. So yeah, just had some girls that have done really well, have moved on to like rep football, rep rugby and Black Ferns. So yeah.
And there's probably a few in there that have probably attributed that to you in terms of where they've got to and see you as a role model, because like looking at that space with the rugby academy, because I think that's pretty much when we crossed paths once I jumped into SGT.
Mm-hmm.
Creating those opportunities, did it come from obviously when you were younger, like not having that opportunity, like in that time frame around that time when you're at high school and then creating this academy? Be interested to see like the change in sport for women and girls from back in when you were at school to now. There's been some massive changes. Like what have you seen in terms of that?
Yeah, so what we started it because we didn't want the girls like to give them another option in life, like even refereeing, like you don't have to play rugby, even referee is another opportunity, but just to just give them another opportunity in life, another option instead of just going to getting a job 9 to 5. You can actually play rugby for a job and have fun and do something that you love. Yeah, so that's why we created the academy, and some of the girls have moved on to the Black Ferns and living the life now, and and they're doing really well too. So we get to watch them on TV and catch up with them when they come home. So
Yeah.
Do
they keep checking in?
Not so much anymore, but they've got good support around them now. Yeah.
So what do you think makes a good coach?
Good question. Building those relationships with your players, understanding their background, meeting their family, just getting to know them on a personal level, not just in their mum and dad as well, and the rest of the family. Yeah, I think that's more important than anything. It's just building that trust and understanding of their upbringing.
Nice. I like it. Talk to me about the Ngāti Porou East Coast Women's Rugby, because that was, you and Amoy came in and started that team up. Was that the first time they had a women's rugby team?
Yeah, I think so. Oh my gosh, I can't even remember now. That was so long ago.
But that was big. That was massive.
Yeah, it was. And it was so cool as well. Being a part of that group. And it probably meant a lot more to me because that's where my mum is from. So she would always come to all our games and support us. Yeah, and just having all the ladies there, and because we're all from the same area, from the same family, it meant a lot more. Probably more so than being a part of the Black Ferns or the New Zealand team. Yeah, the Ngāti Porou team is. Yeah, it's more. I think I don't know what the word is, but it just felt more in my heart. Yeah. So we started that team up. I think we did that for 2 years, and it was awesome. Everyone just got along together on the same waka, and just having the good camaraderie together and just having fun, really. Yeah.
And so how many are you still involved there, or is it?
No, not so much anymore. But they're doing the rugby women's competition up there has grown. So I think they've got like 10 club teams now.
Nice.
They have their own competition. So yes, it's really doing really well now. So, and they've got teenage rec teams, under 16s and under 18s and under 15 girls teams. So so we kicked it off, and then there's other people that are continuing it on. So which is awesome.
Yeah, that's cool. That's really cool. I suppose that's another question is like how important is giving back, because it's something I think like being able to give back. It's just that generosity of being able to take what you've learnt, the journey that you've been through in your career, and then be able to give that back. But like, how important is that? How important is that to you?
Yeah, I think because there's so many people that gave up their time for me to succeed in my sport career. The best thing that I could do is give back to the sport. Yeah, I think it's really important, and has got so much knowledge to share. It's something that you shouldn't keep to yourself. You should always share with our younger generation. So, very important to give back, and
No, it's cool. No, honestly, that's perfect. Because that's the cool thing. Like, I think, when we reflect on us as players, like even like I sort of look back at like have I got into coaching? And obviously I want to give back and make sure our kids, like not like my kids, but like our kids within in Tairāwhiti, that opportunity to be able to get away and play those games.
Yes.
And like a lot of the time, like kids will leave because they'll see the better opportunities outside the district. But if we can obviously help these kids here have that opportunity to be able to go away and play and stuff like that, I think it's massive. And
Totally
I think
agree.
huge. Yeah. No, that's awesome to hear. I want to sort of move into topic now around your health. Obviously, you had a bit of a hit in 2011. You were diagnosed with stage 4 kidney disease.
Mm-hmm.
What was that like when you found out about that?
So at that time, I was selected to travel to England for the Black Ferns. It was a tour, I think a 3 test series against England. And I just wasn't getting the results in my fitness testing, but I felt like I was giving 100%. So I did some, the Black Ferns doctor did some blood tests on me, and that's how I found out that I had CKD. And so wasn't a good time. I wasn't in a good space then, because just trying to deal with with the diagnosis and how I got it, and because I didn't feel sick, I felt normal, but it just wasn't cracking it with my fitness testing. So unfortunately, because of my health, I was a high risk. I wasn't able to travel, and ever since then I think I stopped. I wasn't able to play high performance sport, which was very heartbreaking. So it just wasn't a good time for me at that time. But very hard for me to deal with and accept, I think, because sport rugby, and because at the rugby has been my life since I was 7 years old. So but now I still carried on. I still play. Just play club now, and my kidneys are stable. Yes, I'm doing very well, and just living life one day at a time.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm sorry to ask the question, like, I know it's going to take you back. How did you go through that process? Like when you said like it was really tough and you losing that opportunity with the high performance. And I think there was even a mention around like you had the goal and dream of going to the Rio Olympics with the sevens.
Yeah.
Like, how do you process that? Like was there a support network around you? Like how did you get through that time?
Yeah. So I had my mum I was living with, because I had just moved to Gisborne. So I just had my family really. But I think just like I just gave myself a week, just to get my mindset right. Yeah. And then after that week, I was just get back into training, get myself, even though, I can't play high performance rugby, it's not the end of the world. So just carried on with my training, and I just carried on with club rugby, and still stayed and playing sport really. So just went back into normal life. Bit of depression for a week, but then moved on. Very quickly.
Yeah. And you mentioned your mum. How did your mum help you in that space?
Just being there for me, and coming to my doctor's appointments and hospital appointments, and what else. I had to learn about what kidney disease is going to look like for me in the future, and what are they called, workshops. So she attended those with me. So we were both on the journey, learning about it together. So
Nice.
She was very supportive.
Nice. Did you have to make any drastic changes in terms of either your lifestyle or anything like that? Like, is there anything that had to be?
Not really, because I was in training anyway. So drinking lots of water and eating properly. So probably just. I used to eat lots of eggs, but I had to tone that down. So that would probably be the only thing that I had to You just watch what I eat, I suppose, a bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I suppose the highlight, it's something I read around your return to rugby league in 2020, and that was almost 10 years after the diagnosis.
That was a stupid idea.
But and I read again, you felt fitter than you ever had.
No, yeah, I was because my friend Honey asked me if I wanted to play, but she had given me a bit of time, so I had like 12 months to prepare my body for it. So I know. So I went just straight into training and to get my body right, because I had taken a lot of medication for my CKD. I had to like bulk up a bit more because the medication that I take makes my bones fragile. So so I kind of beefed up a bit because I had a lot because I hadn't played in a long time. I had lost a lot of my muscle. So I really beefed up for this for that tournament. But it was so cool to be back on the field, playing competitive rugby. But the next day my body was so sore. So yeah.
So that was a national league, was it?
Yeah. So who did we play? Northland and Auckland and Wellington, I think. Yeah. I think it was like there was games building up to it, and then at the end there was a tournament or something like that, if I can remember right. But yeah, it was just so cool to be playing competitive sport and back out on the field again. And I think we won the final, but in that final I broke my ribs, and someone landed on my back. Yeah.
Did that keep you, like, obviously after the the recovery of that injury, were you still playing, or
that took me 6 weeks to recover from my rib?
Yeah.
And I've never broken my ribs before, but man, it's I don't recommend it for anyone. It's real hard to breathe. So yeah, and because my bones are so fragile, I think that's when I got tackled, because she just fell on me. So it wasn't a hard fall, but I just think that my bones were too easy to break.
Yeah.
So I think that's just what had happened.
So the injury would have come about because of the condition, like having the soft bones. Yeah. Did you start thinking, okay, this is sort of, I need to start looking at what I'm doing now in terms of, and it's obviously not high performance sport, but obviously playing in that type of league, the national league, that competitive league, was it more like looking at, I need to dial it back a little bit, or were you still, no, I can still keep doing this?
No, I think like mentally, my brain was telling me, yeah, I can do this. No, actually, I was all good. Yeah, because I had prepared myself for it. So yeah, bulked up a bit more. I got Hoax. Do you know Hoax?
Yep.
Yeah, he trained me, so he was just drilling me. Yeah, so yeah, I was mentally prepared and physically prepared for that tournament. Yeah.
Cool.
It was cool.
We know from studies that kidney disease disproportionately affects Māori and Pacific people. How has your experiences with this condition contributed to working with young Māori in Pacifica?
So I didn't really know much about CKD until I was diagnosed with it, and then knowing that Jonah Lomu had a different kind of CKD, and there's a few other rugby players, Vinderi, Joelle Vinderi. So it is quite popular with sports people. So and Pacific people. So yeah.
So just looking at, obviously your role as a social worker.
Yep.
So looking at that and like how you're able to connect with kids that potentially like at a young age, and obviously you picked it up when you're older, but is there things that you have helped them like understand about the condition, like just to be aware of as they get older, or like prevention, I suppose, more so around that than
you can. I think with how I got it was just releasing your urine, like when you need to go to a toilet, don't hold it in.
Yep.
And that's the reason. I think that's how I got it. Yeah, because when I was living in the Gold Coast, I was a bus driver to the theme parks and stuff. So it was just a continuous, like you didn't get much stops.
Yep.
And so I was always having to, I wasn't able to go to the toilet as often. So yeah, that's how I think I got it. So yeah, kids, don't hold your urine in. Go to the toilet straight away.
Yep. No, that's great advice. So just touching on the social work side of things, what got you into that role? Like, is it something that you were keen on, or?
So when I was living in Auckland, I was working at the juvenile detention, and I was just seeing heaps of kids coming in with tattoos, Ngāti Porou, on them. Yeah, which I was like, that really broke me. And so the manager of at the Runanga, Ngāti Porou Runanga, I sent her an email to see if there was any jobs going, and that's how I came to move back to Gisborne. Yeah, there was a position that opened up at Kaiti School as a social worker in schools, and so I applied for it, and yeah, very lucky. And I got it, and I've been living here since 2011 and would never live anywhere else.
Right.
Yeah.
So what skills would you say would be transferable from sport into your role as a social worker?
Just working with kids. So I was lucky I was able to, like, I started the rugby academy at Kaiti School with the girls and the boys, and just providing them with opportunities to take them to the Warriors games. Like we got free tickets to go there and a tour of the stadium, and just I'm able to use my contacts and stuff with the Black Ferns and the New Zealand Rugby League to provide those opportunities for our kids. Not just at Kaiti School, I was working at Waikirikiri School as well. So just providing those opportunities for the kids at both of those schools. Yeah. And that was really rewarding. Some of them hadn't even been out of Gisborne before. So we got to go to just to take them to those places and Rainbow's End and just have a whole weekend of fun and meeting their league idols, because we got to watch them train as well before their games. So yeah, they loved it.
Cool. That's awesome. That's really cool. And then looking at like your family in terms of, you got how many, two kids?
Yeah, two boys.
So looking at your family now with two boys, obviously going into sport, what does that look like for them in terms of having a mum that's been through everything that she's done? Like, I'm quite interested, like.
Yes. My oldest son, he doesn't like rugby at all. He's not very sporty, but he's very, clever in other ways. Very, very smart and quite brainy. And our baby, I think, is going to be, he's quite naughty.
Yeah.
He's only one. But he's got good timing with his reactions and stuff like that. So I think he's going to be quite sporty. But yeah, my older boy, I think he has a fair idea, because we go to, like taking him to the Indigenous games, and he gets to go on the field and at the stadiums and stuff. So I think he's getting the picture that, his mummy's done quite well. Yeah, but not really phased, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the cool thing, because you always sort of wonder, you see it sometimes in sporting worlds, like the parents obviously done really well and then the kids come through, and but it's just interesting to see. And obviously one of those watch this spaces, because they're young. So it'd be interesting to see how they go, where they go, and what they do. And I suppose it's more around like how much of an influence parents are and others are in that space.
Yes. I'm suppose I'm not I know that my older son isn't really into sport at the moment, but he may be when he gets older. So I don't want to, I'm not gonna force it on him or anything.
Yeah.
But he does play soccer, so that's a good start. Yeah, I'm not that parent.
No, that's cool. How has failure or apparent failure set you up for later success? So is anything that's within your life that's like something that's not gone well, but you've learnt from it and it's helped you moving forward?
I think just, having my health issues, because it's, it's every day is a challenge, but just having that right mindset, like and keeping myself fit and healthy, and it's really important. It gets me through each day. So like I've got 2 kids that I need to live for, so I really need to make sure that I'm always hitting the gym every day, and keeping myself as fit as can be.
Yeah.
And
what, I suppose, just going back again, like I know how important support networks are, and sometimes they change over the years. Does it look differently now as you've gotten older with kids and obviously with that health issues? Is the support network looking different now, or is it still the same?
Yes, it's still the same. My family are my main support, and I've got a good wife. Who's always there. And her sisters as well. So the support group's gotten a bit bigger actually. So yeah. And it's not just, we've got another a nephew in our family that has kidney disease as well. So just doing it together. On the same journey. So, and we can just because he's only a young fella, so just giving him some advice. On how to keep yourself healthy and
Nice. No, it's cool. It's really cool to hear. Just looking at, and we probably talked about it a little bit, like what does a good coach look like? But I'd be really keen to hear to you what a good role model looks like.
Someone positive that's there for, like for me, like going to school with the kids, making sure that I was there for them, like didn't give up on them, or didn't like if I say I'm going to be there, I'm going to be there. Someone who behaves, well on the field and off the field. Someone who has fun with the kids. Just supportive and gets to know their families, their parents, grandparents. Yeah.
You're describing yourself right there. That's great. That's great to hear. That's really cool to hear. Cool. So just our last question, we ask everyone this one. What does the value of sport mean to you?
Sport has been my life really since I was 7 years old. It's and it's taught me a lot, life skills, how to work as a team, communicating. So it's taken me, to a lot of countries in the world. So just using it as a platform, it's been really important for me. Meeting new people. So I think it's been a huge part of my life, sports. So very, very proud of what I've achieved, and all the support of my family, and my parents' genetics. So it's pretty cool. It's very important.
I love it. It's awesome reflection. From what I heard in terms of when you talked around your health and when you got yourself out of that, when you said it took a week to reflect on everything, getting straight back into training, like sport was obviously a vehicle that helped you get through that as well, which is really cool to hear. That's awesome, Trish. Chockee, thank you so much for today. Like, honestly, I really appreciate you taking the time. I know it's very hard for you because, as you said, you don't like talking about yourself, and this is awesome that we've got this here. I hope it was a cool reflection on you, for you, around that. But I just wanted to, there's a couple of things I read the other day when, as you mentioned, you said you don't like talking about yourself. But something I really want to stress, being humble means you do things out of the kindness of your heart without the expectation of anything in return, even gratitude. Being generous is not a bad thing, and being humble about your generosity is how it's supposed to be. So I think that's you and the T, like that's who you are. I think the amazing things that you've done in your life, and then also the challenges that you've had, and then how to be able to come back from that. And then also the amount of love and aroha that you give back to all the kids here and everyone within the sport world, I think is just unbelievable and amazing. So I truly thank you for coming on today. Like, I really appreciate it. And I'm sure everybody that's listening today will appreciate it as well. So ngā mihi nunui, thank you so much. And yeah, cheers.
Oh, thank you.